All right. Hi. Happy Monday. So, I've got a special topic for you today. This is on something that I see so many busy executives struggling with. And it's something incredibly important. Actually, all of us struggle with this, but it's not easy to talk about. So, let's just get right to it. Happy Monday. This is a Monday morning mentoring. And I'm going to talk about something that's become a little bit more mainstream. So this is about how you feel about your body. Actually really feel about your body. And it's sometimes super uncomfortable for people. It's uncomfortable for me to talk about sometimes, but it's become more mainstream. It's become kind of a buzzword when we talk and say body positivity. I don't know if you've heard about this. There's a lot of, body positivity, just be happy with being obese and we want to be positive about our body. I'm all for that. I think it's really, really an important piece and I totally get it. But I want to go deeper on this topic and look at how your feelings actually do get mixed up and confused with yourself. And if you've seen any of my previous speaking engagements, I'm always saying you're not your emotions, you're not your body, you're not your feelings. You have them. And you don't want to confuse yourself with that. If you confuse yourself with your behavior or your actions and start saying, I am fat, I am bad, I am this, then you're not going to get to you're actually just doing more harm than good. And so this is a key piece that I do work with my clients on, because the mindset is such an enormous barrier. If your mindset is off, it is probably the biggest barrier to you achieving your health and fitness goals and your goals around your body, especially if you've got this idea and your body image is one where you're hating on your body. So let's dive in on this. I'm going to get personal with you on a few things here, and I want to talk about how when your feelings get mixed up with how you feel about yourself, your talents, your strengths, your weaknesses, your personality, your spirit, and you start identifying with those and getting fixated on them instead of looking at them as something that you can actually improve and change, instead of it being an overall encompassing judgment of I am, and then identifying yourself as that. And if you feel negative about your body, that is definitely something that can translate to inner feelings of general negativity and definitely low self-esteem. We see this, and I think we see it. I know as a mom, I see it in my children. I have to really watch for what the self-talk is and what other people are saying to themselves, because we often are learning what we live in our environment. So I know that I felt that way at one point or another, and I think we all have probably felt that way one time or another. So before I get really personal, let me just introduce myself if this is the first time we're meeting. My name is Stefana Johnson. I'm the CEO, I like to say Chief Empowerment Officer of Powerhouse Leaders. And I'm also the founder and creator of Yogilachi. So this is a process methodology that I created that combines yoga and Pilates and Tai Chi to help my clients and help myself utilizing yoga and Pilates and Tai Chi. And I've used a lot of other components. I love Feldenkrais. I'm really studying some other pieces around this. But essentially, it's a holistic practice around optimal movement and nutrition, mindset, such a huge key piece in there, to get far better results than, let's say, just doing a crash diet and not addressing the other pieces around why we choose maybe to eat something or not, or why we go and snack on chips and take that extra glass of wine, or even, use wine when it doesn't serve you. So these are the things that I work on. I love working with busy executives who are out there in the forefront. They're doing a lot of work for others, and it seems like, well, you don't have time for yourself. So I know that you do, and I love creating doable actions for my clients that they can do even when they're on week-long intensive shifts. So that's kind of my mainstay of what I'll say. All right, so let me go back to this because I want to stay on target here. I've taken notes here because I go on tangents sometimes, so I'm just trying to stay on my focus for this. And it is about body positivity. So I'm just going to get personal here with my past, because I went to New York to be a model and do acting. And when I went to New York, and I remember being so obsessed with the number on the scale that it literally, I would have severe anxiety because of a number on a scale. It meant that number meant so much in the industry, because I wouldn't be able to do runway shows if I wasn't able to fit into a certain size. So if you can imagine, I was 25 pounds less than I am now. And I had to be a certain size in order to make it for shows. So there was a lot of crash dieting and starvation, but there was a lot more of really negative self-talk. And in the industry with models and actors, there's an enormous amount of self-talk, or at least there was in the past. I know it has changed a lot with this body positive kind of fad. It's a buzzword, there's no question about it. And I think it's a good thing generally, but we want to understand it and not use it as a way to justify not achieving our goals and not improving ourselves. Because just because we need to improve ourselves doesn't mean that we're bad right now. I'll give you another example. I gained 45 pounds with my first son. And so, I was at 185 after my son was born. And I was thinking, well, my son was born, I just had a 10-pound baby. How come I'm still 180 pounds? And it's just what it is. So I had to really come to terms with my own thing and stop going on the scale, because that scale was just so destructive. And it took time to get through that. And if I was so obsessed with the scale, I know I wouldn't have been present to my baby and every moment of the breath, because I would have been fixated. And I remember being fixated on the scale for modeling and doing that. But at some point you come to terms with being and loving yourself in the moment. Maybe it's not perfect. I mean, I still look in the mirror and I say, oh my gosh, look at those cottage cheese thighs or whatever. It's like, but it's not, it's for like, oh, okay, well, let me see what I can do to improve that. I wonder what that is that's going on, instead of being like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm bad. There's something wrong with me. I remember perming my hair because it was so pin straight. Now that was in the 80s. That was just what we did in the 80s. And so we permed our hair. But when you start finding this connection with yourself and looking at this, I'll just use body positivity, since that is the buzzword. We start looking at, wait a minute, is this how I would treat my best friend? Is this how I would treat somebody that I truly love? And you probably wouldn't, right? So these are factors that we want to look at. I've been up and down on the scale after my second child. I actually gained 65 pounds. And then I had to go through and go through the process of being present once again with, okay, well, I just had a baby. There's baby weight, there's stuff going on, and go through the process that it takes, instead of expecting that scale to change tomorrow. If I didn't drop 2 pounds every day, there's something wrong with me. That is such a harmful mentality. And that mentality of that scale identifying you as a person and your body, that weight and the number on a scale identifying you and your goodness or your wholeness, is really, it is the worst thing. And those feelings can affect whether or not you even keep going on your goals. I remember being sometimes, well, I didn't lose the weight, well, throw in the towel and just go have the bag of Cheetos or something, right? And that's not helpful. That is not helpful if you're working and really want to work to achieving your goals. And how you take care of yourself. Just throwing in the towel is not going to get you there, right? But sometimes that negative self-talk can definitely stop you in your tracks. So here's the irony, though. When you start taking care of yourself, your thoughts as well, what's going on between the ears, right? When you start doing that and you work towards your goals in a healthy way, one that is small doable changes. It's why I work from, let's do small doable changes. Clients will come to me and without understanding my process, you would think, how come I'm not doing a crash diet? How come I'm not losing 10 pounds a week? Because I understand now the process of unfolding for us to discover our own way. And I'm going to give you this example because I like using this and I share it with my clients, is that if you have an egg and you go and you want that egg to hatch, and it's this precious little egg, and you, come on, I wish you would hatch, and you knock on it and you try to get it to come out, you will kill the life that is in that egg if you crack it from the outside. But if the life that is inside cracks the eggshell from the inside and the light starts shining through from that life force, that is when life begins. That is when life thrives. And I use that as my own analogy for every client that I work with to allow them, and I'm facilitating, like I'm the heat lamp, or I could be the nurturing hen that's keeping the process at its own pace to allow for the unfolding to happen. I mean, that's kind of what it is. And so part of that is this mindset piece. We have to be easier with ourselves and gentler with ourselves instead of like trying to hammer on this eggshell and crack it open so that we get ours right now. And I've seen it just countless times, and I've had so many clients that come to me after every single diet. They've tried everything. They've tried surgery, they've pills and potions and all of it. Every doctor you can think of, and they're in pain and they've got all these situations going on. And it comes back down to looking at it from the inside out. That to me is when and my clients know it. The confidence that happens, it's because it's integrated from them and it's coming from this place where their self-esteem just blossoms, even when they are very high-powered executives, high-powered, busy professionals, doing what they're doing and really successful. And I totally understand this piece where when you don't have your own sense of self for yourself and your body, doing it from the outside and trying to have something crack you from the outside is actually going to do more harm than good. And so this is a big topic. This is a topic that I hope you'll look at and then maybe be a little easier on yourself and see what it is. Maybe take a step back and look at, if I am looking from the inside out, is this the right next best step for me? As opposed to, is it mommy's step or is it someone else's step or my partner's step because they want me to do it? Just start looking at it from the inside out. And then, show up for yourself, stand up for yourself and show up. You'll start to treat yourself in a better way. You'll start to treat yourself more positively and in a loving way. I often ask, how would you treat your best friend? How would you treat someone you cherish and adore? Well, treat yourself that way. For every meal that you sit down to eat, be present and adore that sense of yourself and really enjoying this. It really does take those brave steps though, because we're so used to forcing it and making it happen. And, you know, but moving in that positive direction, you get far, far better results. I guarantee it. And yeah, I just love watching my clients transform in that way because it happens in their own way. And I'm definitely results driven. So I like to see, you know, I always am looking at those and I'll track the results. But ultimately, when I see a client having these wins that, you know, you would sometimes they never even expected some of the wins that they will have that are life-changing, transformative in such profound ways. And so if you can embrace that and start to look at it from that way, especially when it comes to our bodies, I think that will help a lot. And I think it will help, especially, you know, after decades of trying the old way of forcing and, you know, starvation and going through that, but looking at it from coming from the inside out and really tapping into that. That's the beauty. That's the gift. And when you believe in yourself, you do things the right way. You do what you say you're going to do. And when you start doing what you say you're going to do and you continue, you start to build momentum. And that momentum is going to give you that compounding effect. And that compounding effect over time gives you exponentially more profound results for you to just continue to expand in all areas, right? You're more productive. You perform far better in all areas of your life. Your energy, you show up energized, you show up focused and confident and excited and creative and innovative. And things that used to be big challenges maybe are not so big because you're stronger and whole from the inside out and your foundation is much, much better. So yeah, so you show up for yourself, you put in the work, meeting those challenges and getting those wins. That is definitely the gift of coming from the inside out and transforming in that way. So remember this body positivity, it may be a trendy buzzword right now, but taking great care of yourself, taking great care of your body, that is always in style. That is always the right thing, right? That is definitely right. So, all right, this month, happy July. It's amazing. We're already in July. I hope those in the US had a wonderful weekend and an Independence Day yesterday. This month, we're focusing on taking intentional steps towards your goals. And I'd love for you to share with me, if you're watching this live, what are you intending this week? What's your focus for this week? When you have an intention, you set it and you focus on it, and you also put it out there, this is a safe place for you to do that. So please comment that you're here, what your goal is, what you're focused on. You can keep it simple. You can make it a big goal, but expressing that again in a safe environment. This is a place I'm really advocating, a safe environment for you to do that. And if you're watching the replay, put replay and just let me know you're here and what your focus is towards your goals this week. If you need more of a private environment, I've got a private Facebook group. It's called the New Leader Look. I can put the link in the chat and then join that private Facebook group. It's a smaller group. We've got I'm in there supporting, giving supportive tips, and it's a good community there. So I am here to help you drop the extra weight. It's not always physical weight, right? It could be the mental, the emotional, but I'm here to help you drop the extra weight, to look and feel amazing. Maybe that's doing a major transformation of your body. Maybe it's just small, simple changes. Maybe you've had chronic pain for a bit. There are some small doable changes that you can do that really radically and very quickly change pain patterns. Pain patterns are often a big piece to why people carry extra weight. And you don't feel great, right? If you don't feel great, it's really easy to go down that spiral of not choosing the best foods and then on down that dwindling spiral. But if you are serious about dropping the extra weight and you want to look and feel your best and you want to get some one-on-one support, jump on my calendar, stefana.net. I've got some spots open this week. Jump on, book a call for this week. Let's sit down. Let's jumpstart your weight loss. Knowing that it's going to come from the inside out. But as a professional, I'm able to guide it. And in guiding you, it's so much easier and much faster so that you don't go down, let's say, shortcuts. Remember, shortcuts inevitably end in a dead end. And so if you want real results and you really want to see them start happening, we've got the rest of the year, 6 months. I've seen major transformation in 90 days and 6 months, depending on where you're at and what your goals are. And I would love to support you. So if you can jump on my calendar, see if there's some spots left on my calendar this week, I would love to sit down with you and talk with you. So that's at stefana.net, STEPHANA.net. It's non-salesy. It's not what it's about. If there's something that I can support you with, I will definitely let you know. But ultimately, I think I can give you a tweak or two that will get you jump-starting your weight loss right now. Okay, so let's talk again soon. Be sure to comment and let me know that you're here live, and I'll see you soon. All right.